The reason being is because it's such a good suburb to buy in, and that suburb is Tyers Hill. So Tyers Hill is basically one of the only inner west suburbs of Newcastle that does not flood at all. Like, no flooding here is way too high up. Well, when I say no flooding, I mean in the residential area. It's way too high up from Throsby Creek. It's called Tyers Hill for obvious reasons. So you're still picking up Tyers Hill for, it's closer to $1 million, but you're still getting good properties for around that. And the reason I like Tyers Hill is because of the ridiculous income you got in the suburb. So years and years ago, this was considered a very working class, kind of derelict area. But if you look at, just this is census data 2021, Tyers Hill's personal, family, and then also household income, it's above the state average, but it's literally under $1 million. And this has some of the highest growth in any suburb in the country. So I think it's done nearly 7% growth year on year for the last 15 years, which is just insane. And this is only going up from here. So it's such a good suburb for that. And people can easily afford their mortgages, there's high equity value and all that kind of thing. Unsurprisingly, another suburb I'm actually mentioning as I mentioned Tyers Hill is Mayfield East. And I'd actually include the pocket near Mayfield East of Mayfield. So probably you have Havelock Street out to Mayfield East in this pocket as well of Mayfield, in the Mayfield East sort of catchment zone, because this pocket is basically almost the same as Tyers Hill. You actually even have a little bit bigger blocks and it's way too high up. So north of Maitland Road doesn't flood. It's way too high up, and if that did flood, not all of Newcastle, but half of Newcastle would be underwater. So that's another good thing. But Mayfield East is a really good, quiet family pocket. Great tree-lined streets, great schools as well. So you're not far from San Clemente High School and also Mayfield East Primary School, quite highly rated. Really safe. You've got the skate park, the swimming centre all nearby. You can walk down to the Coles and Woolworths, which is really good too. But the area is just gentrified like crazy. So this is just a photo you can see of like the early 1900s and what a photo of a property sold recently will look like today. But mainly behind the gentrification it's the movement of professionals into the suburb. So you'll see here that you've gone from 18.8% to 31.7% just in 15 years of professionals moving in, gone from below the state average to above it, and that's the reason the suburb's done so well, because it's gentrified so much, it's done so well. So it's a really good thing to see. Mayfield East is a great place to buy in Newcastle.